Hey guys, it's Kitten, and this video is going to be a little more serious and honest. My videos lately, I know, are more serious and honest, but this one is, this one personally touches me in a way that is a lot more personal. It's a lot more personal because it's definitely a thing that I've been battling a lot recently, and it's something I'm battling right now, and it's very fresh. It's definitely a touchy subject for me right now, but I feel like I should make this, not only to like make the subject more like friendly to talk about and make people more aware about it. Not only those, but just like I just want to talk about it, particularly right now. Depression is a condition that probably I read a statistic, or like I learned it in several psychology classes. I don't remember the exact percentage, but I do know that depression is experienced by every nationality, by every culture, by every human being. And everyone will usually experience it at least once in their life, maybe not as severe as others, but everyone will eventually probably go through it in a mild way or in an extreme way. But it's also one of those things that, yes, it's very common, but it's something people don't recognize as a real thing, if that makes sense. People just kind of brush it off as, oh, I'm sad and down today, that's it. But you can't say that if it goes on for over 2 weeks. Actually, I think in class I remember learning that it is considered clinical depression if this feeling goes over 2 or 3 weeks and then it becomes like a problem. I know the way darker side of depression. And it's never pretty. It's never okay. I was hoping that I wasn't gonna get upset while talking about this, but I am. Awesome. I just wanted to talk about it to get it off my chest, I guess, because ever since, well, I'm gonna just outright say it, like, I've literally had depression almost my whole life. Ever since 3rd grade, I've had depression. Yes, I've had years where it was not that bad, like it wasn't there much at all. And then there's some times where it gets really, really bad. And the beginning of this year, it was that was one of the times where it was really, really, really bad. I've never gone to therapy for it at all. I've never had drugs for it. I probably should eventually go to therapy for it, and probably drugs would help. But my family, I know, particularly my dad, is about, like, you should tough it out, stuff like that. Like, he has that mentality, which I don't necessarily agree with. But I have to do what he says because I'm under his insurance. Yay! It's not like that I actually do want to go to therapy or I do want to get drugs. I don't really want either of those. To be honest, I don't think anyone who suffers from depression wants to go on drugs or wants to go to therapy. Mostly because it's that final act of admitting that you do have a serious problem, and a lot of us don't want to admit that. for me, I've admitted to myself that this is a serious problem, but it's a problem I've told myself that I can tough out, that I can help myself through it. I know that's probably not the healthiest mentality, but it's how I was raised. It was how I learned to deal with it. I'm gonna be totally honest right now. At this point in my life, I am 100% baffled by how proud I am. Because when I was way more depressed in the beginning of this year, I noticed that it was a depression. I went down into the depression a lot lower than I had been in years. And I admitted that to myself, like, you're in a very bad spot. You're in a very low spot. A lower spot than you've been since probably high school. It was hard to admit because it's been years since I've been that low, and I'm honestly proud of myself because it's one of those things where it was like the quickest like depression low, but like the quickest rise up from depression that I've probably ever had in my life. Maybe the second time I've had it. I'm gonna be honest, something happened between me and another person, and that's mostly the reason why I was so depressed and I got so low in my depression. And it didn't help that me and that person had a falling out, and I don't hate that person for it. I understand why they did it. I get their motives, and I respect them for it. I can't do anything about their choice. They made their choice, and I can't do anything about it. Like, I've had to accept that fact of life. And I'm gonna be honest, it's probably one of the most hard thing I've done in my life. I just know that it's one of the things that I've had to really come to terms with rather quickly. That was hard. It is hard because I'm still dealing with it. One of the only reasons why it's been so hard on me is because, one, this person is very important to me, very valued and very loved. And one of my fears all my life, I've always had this fear of losing people that I love, and that fear really showed its face in the first beginnings of this year. It really came true, and something like that is very hard to deal with, because it's not only hard to deal with like general phobias like fear of spiders or fear of snakes, but a deeper and deeper phobia like losing someone you love is a lot harder to deal with when it comes true, because it's an emotional fear. It's a psychological fear. Fears like that are a lot harder to get through. That's partly why I'm so proud of myself, because especially in the past week, especially filming this video, because it's very obvious that like I wanted to tear up a few times while filming this, and I haven't cried. To be honest, like I haven't cried in the past week and a half. In the past 2 months, I know I've cried at least every other week or every week. The fact that I haven't actually cried in like a week and a half to like 2 weeks is a fucking miracle. And not only that, I noticed that whenever I like a few days before I start my period, usually I think every woman gets this, but usually for me, I have 1 or 2 days where I get kind of depressed and sad, and those are the days that I usually, in my PMSing, I usually cry. When that day passed, I noticed that like I was physically more tired, and that was it. That was the extent of my PMS affecting me. And that's honestly a proud moment, because usually on those days, not just because the hormones are super high those days, but usually when I'm really, really depressed or really sad, without a doubt, I cry that day. It's a given, it happens. And that didn't happen this time. I was fine. I had no desire to be sad or crying. No desire. That's amazing. That honestly is. I'm very proud of myself that I honestly where I am emotionally right now. If you haven't noticed, one of my ways of coping with my sadness right now is that I'm taking YouTube very, very seriously right now. If you haven't noticed, I'm very consistent now. I very much go with the schedule that I have set for myself, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I plan on keeping that consistency. Like, keeping busy, I know, really helps me. And keeping busy, especially with something like this that I really love doing, really helps. It really does, because I'm talking about things that mean something to me. I don't get very many views, but I'm talking about something that means something to me, and that's important to me. That's all that matters for me right now, is I need to focus on things that I want to do. And this is one of them. And it really helps. I'm just happy because I was planning on not opening up that much. But I feel better. I honestly feel better talking about it. Because, to be honest, I don't have very many people to talk to about it. And it's just, I am not going to police myself on this channel. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. And I'm going to be very honest of where I am emotionally. And this is where I am emotionally. I am in a very delicate place. I think I'm handling that delicate place very well. And that makes me proud, honestly. What I really wanted to talk about for this video is not me venting, but I wanted to go over how serious depression actually is. Depression is not something you should brush off. You really shouldn't. It's something that you need to 100% admit to yourself that it's something that you're experiencing. Just like I've fully admitted to myself that it's something I am fully experiencing right now. There's no harm in that. There's no shame in that. There really isn't. The faster you admit it to yourself, the healthier you are going to be in the long run. I'm definitely evidence of that. I admitted to myself rather early that I was in trouble. I was in a bad place. And yeah, it's taken a while to get to where I am right now. 5 to 6-ish months now. Yeah, half a year, but it's something you really do need to admit. If I didn't admit it earlier, I probably would still be in a very bad place right now. And that's a scary thought, honestly, especially where I was emotionally in the beginning of this year. It was bad. That's all you need to know. And yeah, so it's something you really need to admit to yourself as quickly as possible. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, you think that you're gonna get judged for it, and if you feel like you're gonna get judged for it, honestly, don't go to anyone else but me and other people that are like me, because me and other people that are like me, we know exactly what you're going through, and we know that it is no laughing matter. It is no matter to be judged for. It is no matter to be shamed for. It is a condition that is very serious and very real. That's something that people really do need to understand. And it's not shameful to reach out for help, especially like going to a suicide hotline, or actually what I've used when it was really, really, really bad. A few months ago, I went to the crisis hotline, I think, texting hotline, but I went through Facebook to do it. I'll put a link, their page, and pretty much for Facebook, I think, if I remember correctly, you go to their Facebook page and you click and to like message them, and then you send them a message, and it like a machine kind of thing like talks to you and like says like, we are getting you a counselor, tell us about your problems, and you type it out, and once the counselor gets to you and starts talking, it's really nice. I've only used it once, but when I used it, it was probably a very smart move on my part. And if you really are like me and you don't like phone calls, this is a wonderful alternative. Seriously, it's like you can do it through Facebook. That's amazing. So that's a wonderful alternative to something when you really need to have someone listen. That's something that's really helpful. A link down below. That's the first line that you're gonna see, is that link. Just as long as you like get everything off your chest, just do it. It's fine. It's a smart choice. For people with like conditions like me, something like that is a smart choice, and is a choice that you should probably do if you're in a really bad spot. In my experience, it's definitely a thing that never really leaves. I've fully admitted to myself that I will probably never be cured of depression. It's probably going to be something that I will have until my dying day. And that's just something I have admitted to myself that needs to be admitted. Yeah, drugs, therapy, and all that should probably help. I've had depression all my life. I know at this point it's not something I can fully get rid of. It's something that's always gonna be there. I think it makes me stronger. It's definitely a thing that I would prefer not to have, but I think it makes me who I am, and I think that's a good thing. There is good right after the darkness. There really is. I'm definitely evidence of that because I've experienced it many times. I've experienced very low points in my life, but I've also experienced very, 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 very high points in my life. And those high points really do exist. They really do happen. But in my case, I know I've admitted to myself that once those high points happen, yes, they happen, and they're very nice and they're very good, and I soak them in very well. But I do know that sometimes I'm gonna have very, very bad low points, ranging from maybe a few days to a year. And that's just my reality. That's something I've admitted to myself. It's definitely an uphill battle, but it's an uphill battle that I am willing to fight. And I think everyone who experiences this are willing to fight. They just need a good push. To be honest, one of the best things for me is being that for someone else. I am more than willing to be that for someone else. So, I'm talking to you because I know people. From my experience, I know that people with my condition tend to gravitate to depression videos like this because you relate to them. So, I am talking to you, people who have clicked on this video that are very similar to me. And I am personally reaching out to you and saying, if you need someone to talk to, I am here. I am willing to listen to you because I'm honestly one of those people that will sit and listen to a person for hours just to hear them vent, just to be a person for another person to lean on. It's something like that it makes me very, very happy, and I think it would make the other person very happy. I know it would, because I've had experience where I've really, really wanted to talk to someone, and once I talk to that person about something and they have a very good reaction and they're very good at listening to me, I have a very positive reaction to it, and I want to be that positive reaction to you guys. I would really love it if you guys talk to me, if you really need to. If you don't really need to, and if you're not comfortable, but you still want to talk to someone, I really recommend that link that I recommended earlier in this video. So, I think I'm done with my talk, I guess. It wasn't really a rant. I'm done with this talk. So, really, if you need to talk to someone, I am here. And if you don't want to talk to me, go to the link. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in going to that link. And there's no shame talking to me. Zero shame if you talk to me. I am one of the most understanding, non-judgmental people that you will come across. It's kind of my thing. And yeah, I'm gonna go. I love you guys. Okay, bye.